I selected the double integration problem, integrating the function xy plus 1, where x goes from 0 to 1, and y going from 2 radical x to 2 radical x plus 1. To start this, since dy is first, we're going to integrate by y first. So integrating to y, that will give us xy squared over 2 plus y, going again from 2 radical x to 2 radical x plus 1, making sure we keep the dx. Alright, so now all we gotta do is plug in these values, subtract one from the other, and then we can move on to integrating, looking at x. So when we plug it in, use a little bracket here, x by 2 radical x plus 1, square it, divide it by 2, and add a 2 radical x plus 1. And we'll be subtracting x, 2 radical x squared over 2, plus another 2 radical x, keeping the dx there. And just looking at it here, if you look, you see we have a 2 radical x here and a 2 radical x here. Before we can go any further, we can just cross those out because we know we can subtract that from that. So we continue. We'll expand this by squaring it, just like any other binomial. So when we square it, that gives us a 4x squared plus 4x radical x plus x over 2. We're just left with a 1 here. Then minus squaring that would give us a 4x squared over 2. Don't forget the dx. And alright, again, let's look at this. We have a 4x squared over 2 and a 4x squared over 2. So we can just get rid of both of those and we can bring down what remains. That remains with a 4x radical x plus x over 2 plus 1 dx. And to make this a little simpler for integration, you look at a 4x times a radical x. Radical x is essentially x to the 1/2 power. So you can add the exponents in this one. So that would turn into 4x to the 3/2. So I'll just do that. And I'm going to be separating these because it's easier for integration. So we'll have 4x to the 3/2 over 2 plus x to the 2 plus 1 dx. Let me just adjust here so you can see what we're doing. Hopefully the camera doesn't fall. Alright, so when we integrate, that leaves us with a 4x to the 5/2 divided by 2. You can either divide the whole equation by 5 over 2, or you can just simply multiply it by 2 over 5. Then for the next one, that has to be x squared, and divide that by 2, makes it x squared over 4, and that 1 just turns into an x. And we'll be looking at it going from 0 to 1. So once we get to this point, it's a pretty straightforward equation, just kind of plug and chug with 0 and 1. So the only tricky part, I guess, would be multiplying that if that's something that you struggle with. So we'll go over here. And so when you multiply this one out here, what that leaves you with is a 4x to the 5/2 over 5. Again, plus x squared over 4 plus x 0 to 1. All right, one more quick camera adjustment. Bear with me. All right. Now when we plug it in, we're going to have 4 times 1 to the 5 halves divided by 5 plus 1 squared divided by 4 plus 1 minus, if you put in 0 for all these, they're just going to be 0. So minus 0. So doing it out, it would be 4/5 plus 1/4 plus 1. After some cross multiplication, you're going to get 41 over 20. And that is our answer. And just for imagery's sake, I drew the regions and what is bounded by. If you look at the bottom, you have the y equals 2 radical x and y equals 2 radical x plus 1. It's the same line, just shifted up. Then, of course, x equaling 0 and x equaling 1. All right, thank you.